What's going on, guys? Today we are going to do a Photoshop tutorial on how to make an awesome collage, and I have some really sweet photos to use that I got from my brother. He is in Okinawa and he took some amazing surf photos. I will leave a link in the video description to his work, so please check him out. I have my computer right here. Get your Red Bull, whatever you need. Of course, we're going to get to it. Let's do it. Alrighty, as you can see here, we have Photoshop. I'm using Creative Cloud 2018, and then I have a folder with all my photos. So make sure you get all your photos in one spot. I like to put them on the desktop, but you can do whatever you want. And today we're going to be using 12 photos, and I already have them edited. I like to use JPEG because they're easier to work with. So the first step you're going to do is you're going to open up Photoshop, and then we're going to go to Create New, and I'm going to make it 4K. So when you go to New, it's Custom, width 3840 by 2160 pixels, 300 pixels an inch, and then hit Create. Boom, there you go. This is going to bring you to the main Photoshop screen. First step you want to do here, guys, is you're going to go to View and go to New Guide Layout. And since we have 12 images in our set, we're going to do 4 columns and 3 rows. 4 times 3 is 12, yeah. And then you hit OK. And then as you can see, now we have these rows and columns laid out for us, all ready to go. So when you're at this screen, sometimes you'll see all these extra lines. Don't let them scare you. Just click View, go to Show, and then go to Grid, and then turn the lines off. The lines that we want to have on are these blue ones. These are going to help us separate things out. So step 1, you're going to go to right over here in your Layers panel. If you can't find your Layers panel, go to Window, Layers. Boom, there it is. All right, cool. So then you go to click right here in the top right corner of your Layers panel, and then go to New Layer. Layer, doesn't matter what the name is, because we don't really care. Now that you got your layer, you're going to click the rectangular marquee tool. It's right up here in the top left. If you can't find it, here she is. So click it. If you want to pick a different selection, just click and hold down. We're using the rectangular marquee tool. It's kind of fun to see. So the first thing that we want to do is you want to click, hold down, and drag, and we're going to select this top box right over here. There we go. Now we have that box selected. And now we have to pick a color. So you're going to click your little color guy right here. Click that. Boom. There you go. And I like to use lighter colors for this part of it. And since we have to use 12 colors, we're going to start at the bottom of this wheel and slowly work our way up. So here we go. We're going to start off with, pretty red of a color. Here we go. Then we have our foreground selected. If you ever mess up on your select, that's an easy fix. Hold Control and hit D. Then you can click on the marquee tool again, and you can just click outside of the box. It should snap to it. Just kind of drag it into the area and it'll pop right on it, and then let go. Once you have your box perfectly selected and you got your color picked, right click inside that box and then go to Fill. All right, this window pops up. Make sure you have foreground color selected, none of this other stuff. There you go. Everything should look just like that, and then you're gonna hit OK. Boom, there we go. We filled up one of our boxes. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is go to File, New Layer, and we're gonna repeat this process for every one of these boxes on the screen, but use a different color. So File, New Layer. Got my rectangular selection thingamabobber, and then, oh, see, it didn't really pop the way I wanted it to, and that's a bad selection. So I hold Control and hit D. Boom, there we go. So you just want to click near it and hold down. See, that popped on there. There we go, sweet. Now I'm going to click my color guy right down here, right? And I'm going to move my wheel up just slightly, so it's just slightly different color. There we go. Right click, and then we're going to go to Fill. There we go. Foreground color, same thing as before. Boom, there we go. So it's a new layer, new color. So what you're gonna wanna do, guys, is you're gonna wanna repeat this process with a different color all the way down. So if you need to, go back in the video and watch how we did the first square, but you're just gonna have a different color on a different layer for every square. So I'm gonna fast forward this part so y'all don't have to sit here and watch me do it. Alrighty, gang, now that you have all your squares made into different colors, it should look like this. You should have all your layers with a different color all made up and ready to go. There you go. So now what we're gonna do is you're gonna click that folder that has all of your JPEG images in it. I have mine around here somewhere, promise. There we go, I got my folder. There we go, boop. So I'm gonna full size this, okay. Boom, Pro tip, if you want your image to fit on your screen nice and flush, you just hit Control-0, and then it's gonna make it fill up your screen. There you go, nice, nice. All right, so back to what we were doing. So here are all the images in our sequence, 1 through 12. And this is the final image. This is what you're gonna end up with. What you wanna do is you wanna click the layer, the last layer, layer 12, whatever your number is gonna be. Click that, very important, make sure you have that clicked. There you go, boop. And then I'm gonna go to number 12, match the numbers up, and then click, hold down, drag this into Photoshop. Boom, there we go. Don't freak out, guys, that's okay. Now what you wanna do is roughly line your image up. Once you've drug it in here, just click and drag, kind of put your little guy, whatever your motion is, over where you think it needs to be. Really important, after you've done that, hit enter. Boom, we have hit enter. Very important to hit enter. Now what you want to do is that layer that you just brought in, it should be a number. It doesn't just say layer 12, it should say a number, which is the name of your image. Right click that and then go to create clipping mask. Very important. Boom. Now look what it did. It trimmed the fat. Isn't that awesome? Cool. So now what you want to do is you're going to want to hold Control and push T. There you go. Now that brings up the free transform. If you can't find that, you can also just go to edit and then free transform. It's the same thing. I just use hotkeys because they're the bomb and it's a lot faster. So once you have your free transform pulled up, and that's what all these lines and stuff are, you're gonna hold shift, that lets you keep your proportions when you're free transforming, and start resizing your image. Let go of shift and then click and drag to move the image around, and you hold shift when you need to resize it. So it's this back and forth motion of holding shift, resizing it, and then letting go and shift and then moving it around. So I think that's probably pretty good. Kind of want to have them in the middle a little bit, maybe even a little bit more. There you go. Once you got that, you're going to hit enter. Okay, there you go. After you have hit enter, you're going to repeat the same process, but make sure you click the next layer. So if we're going to the 11th image, we need to click layer 11 first. Very important. Click the layer first. So now we have the layer clicked. Go back to the folder of your images. Go to the corresponding image, which this one is 11. Click, hold down, and drag. Boom, there we go. Oh my God, don't freak out. Click, hold down, drag it where roughly the guy's in the right spot. And then hit enter. Very important, hit enter. If you don't hit enter, you won't be able to do anything else. You have to enter first. Boom, we hit enter. Now the same thing. Now we have this layer we just dropped in. It should be highlighted because you were just working on it. Right click that layer, create clipping mask. Boom, there we go. Next thing you want to do is either go to edit free transform right here, or see how it says Control T, or just hold Control and tap T. Boom. Now we want to resize again. So hold down shift and then click the corner and drag. There you go. Bring it up a little bit. Hold down shift. There we go. See, and hold down shift. There you go. And I let go of shift when I move it. Make sure he's kind of the same size as the other little dude that you got hanging out somewhere. There you go. It looks like both of my dudes are about the same size. It'll look kind of crappy if you don't have your dudes pretty similar in size. Once you have them where you think that you kind of like them a little bit, I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller for you guys because that's just like a little bit too big. Oh God, what have I done? This thing, there we go. That's a lot better. All right, sweet. So once you have your layer where you think you like it, hit enter. Boom. So you're gonna want to repeat this process all the way down through your other 10 layers. The exact same thing. If you mess up, you can always go to your history, and this is a history of everything you've done. You just click back, however many steps back you want to go. This is everything you've done since you opened the file. Pretty sweet thing. So go ahead and do this through your other 10 layers. I'm gonna fast forward this so you don't have to watch me do it, and then we will reconvene. Alrighty guys, once you have finished those steps, it should look like this. You should have all your images lined up in your squares and they all look nice and fancy. We've got a little surfer going here, off the wave going up. Oh man, it's epic. There we go. So the next thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna scroll up in your layers and click your top layer and click on these little lines right here and go to new layer. You don't have to name it unless you want to. I don't usually. Alright, after we have created a new layer, you're gonna go back up to the rectangular marquee tool and then just click and select the entire border of your image. You can just click and drag, get the very outside of the whole thing. There you go. And then right click anywhere on the screen and go to stroke. There we go. And to make sure you click the location inside, I like to use the color white. You can use whatever color you want. And then you want to make your stroke, I'm going to around 20 pixels. I think that'll probably be pretty good. This is how thick your line's going to be. Then you hit OK. There you go. Now look what happened. It put a line on there for us. Now what we want to do is deselect so we can go on to the next step. So you can either go to select, deselect, or like it says, Control D. I'm going to use Control D. Boom. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? The next thing we're going to do is fill in our grid. So we're going to go up here to your rectangular marquee tool and select single row marquee. Now just click and hold down and it'll snap to one of these lines that you have on your grid and then let go. Now right click anywhere in your screen and go to stroke. Make sure you have your color the same and your width the same. This time, very important, change the location from inside to center. Then you're going to hit OK. Up pops your line. So now we're going to repeat this process for the next line down. So click and hold down. There you go. Now let go. Right click, go to stroke. Same thing, leave the exact same settings. 20 pix, whatever you're using, whatever your color, make sure it's center, hit OK. There we go. But now we have to do our vertical lines. So this is how we do that. You're going to click, hold down over here on the same tool, go to single column marquee tool, which you have rows and columns. So click and hold down, wait till it snaps to. There you go, we have that selected. Right click, go to stroke, and then same settings, make sure it's center, the same width and everything, hit OK. There you go. Repeat the process for the other parts of your grid. Right click, stroke, there we go. There's the other one. Right click, stroke, there we go. Now we have all of them, there you go. Now we have our final image complete. So what you want to do is just click view and turn off the extras, and now we can see the full image. Alrighty gang, once you have all your images all in the right place and you have your grid, everything looks really good, we're going to save the final image. So we're going to go to File, Save As, go to JPEG. There we go, we're in that same folder with all your other images in the sequence. And we're going to go to Final Image. You can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it that. Click Save. And I always do quality maximum, hit OK. Now when you go back to that same folder, you should be able to pull up the image that we just created. Boom. Look how awesome that looks, guys. Doesn't that look good? Yes, it does. Alright guys, that wraps up my tutorial. I hope that I helped a lot of y'all figure out how to do this. If you have any questions, please post them below. I'm going to start doing one video a week teaching all things photo and video. It's going to be super awesome, and I really hope that you stick around. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you next week.